Welcome to another installment in our series of brief video tutorials on finding, writing, and citing. You might recall that in the opening video we distinguished 4 basic types of documents you will likely encounter and have to reference in your dissertation. Although there are many more document types, those you will most often need to reference will be a monographic book, an article in a periodical, an individual chapter or an edited or compiled book, and the paper published in conference proceedings. In the previous video, we demonstrated how to reference a monographic book. In this video, we will show you how and when to cite an article. If you followed these tutorials in order, you've already learned about citing monographic books and book chapters. In this video, we'll demonstrate how to cite a periodical, by which we mean a collection of articles that come out at regular or even intervals. This can be the daily newspaper, the weekly magazine, or the biannual journal. In this tutorial, we'll cover the journal article, which for many dissertation writers will constitute a significant portion of their research material. We will be referencing an article from the Marine Pollution Bulletin, which we have in physical format on the library shelves, but citing the digital version is very similar. Whether online or in print, the article in the journal is, like the book chapter we cited in the previous video, a piece of a larger whole. The article has authors and a title, which are included in the journal, which itself has its own title. And being a periodical, your reference has to include which volume, issue, and year the article is published in. And you will also need to reference the page numbers where the article can be found. Before we show you how an article looks when it is cited in text or listed in your bibliography, we want to remind you to use a reference management tool like RefWorks or EndNote. It will make keeping track of your references much easier and save you a lot of typing. The specific workings of RefWorks will be covered in another video. For present purpose, we note that reference managers come with the option of choosing a reference or document type, and offers the data fields appropriate for that type. For this citation, we choose journal article, and appropriately we are offered the fields for the author and title of the article, the journal title, the volume and issue numbers, date of publication, and the article page numbers. If we were citing the online version rather than the print, we need only add the URL. We can also omit the page numbers. There are other fields available that you can add when circumstances warrant, but the fields shown are the ones most typically used when referencing an article in a journal. Be sure to look up the APA standards for capitalization and abbreviation, and enter the data accordingly. While it might seem a little troublesome at first, the advantage of putting your bibliographic information in a reference management tool is that it becomes reusable with no extra typing. You can also generate a correctly formatted citation. When generating a citation, be sure to choose APA 6th edition. At this point, just copy and paste the citation in the appropriate place in your text. Depending on how long the article is, you might want to add a specific range of pages or pages where you found the quote, fact, or idea you are referencing. You'll notice when referencing within the text, we use an abbreviated citation, just enough to distinguish this specific work from the other works you cite. Your reader can go to your bibliography to find the full citation. If you cite something more than once in a chapter, you may omit the publication year after the first instance. This is the basic rule, but if you are citing multiple works by the same author, or maybe even multiple works by the same author published in the same year, there are exceptions. See our short video on how to distinguish works by the same author if you encounter this situation in your referencing. If you are including page numbers in your in-text citation, use only the page or pages where you found the quote, fact or idea you are referencing. For the listing in the bibliography, however, include the full page range of the article. One more advantage of using reference management software is that when it is time to generate your bibliography, the software will not only format it correctly, but also list the references alphabetically. Now that we've covered the basics for referencing a journal article, in the next video we'll demonstrate when and how you cite a conference paper.